Thanks again for being here. We begin tonight with a new political drama ahead of 2027 elections. Governor Seyi Makinde says he will not support President Bola Tinubu's re-election because concerns about the survival of democracy in the country. In the build-up to the 2023 presidential election, Makinde was part of the G5 governors of the People's Democratic Party who refused to back Atiku Abubakar's presidential bid. Makinde said while Wike is free to back Tinubu's re-election bid, other party members also have a right to defend the PDP and resist actions that could weaken Nigeria's multi-party democracy.
A meeting with the president and Wike. And I'm saying this, in an open chat. The president's chief of staff was also in that meeting, and a few others. And Wike said to the president that, well, sir, I will hold PDP for you, against 2027. I was in shock. So we got up, we got to the veranda. I said, Wike, did we agree to this? I don't like talking about people, and I will not talk about people or talk about events. But I'll talk about the real issue. The real issue is that Wike would like to support the president for 2027. That's fine. It is within his right to do that. But also some of us that want to, ensure that democracy survives in Nigeria. We don't drift into a one-party state, and we want to ensure that PDP survives. It should also allow us to do our own thing. That is just the issue between me and Wike. And I confided in a mutual friend of us. After that, is that I was in a meeting with the president and Wike. And I'm saying this, in an open chat. The president's chief of staff was also in that meeting, and a few others. And Wike said to the president that, well, sir, I will hold PDP for you, against 2027. I was in shock. So we got up, we got to the veranda. I said, Wike, did we agree to this? I don't like talking about people, and I will not talk about people or talk about events. But I'll talk about the real issue. The real issue is that Wike would like to support the president for 2027. That's fine. It is within his right to do that. But also some of us that want to, ensure that democracy survives in Nigeria. We don't drift into a one-party state, and we want to ensure that PDP...
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has rejected a request to recognize factional National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, citing unresolved court cases. INEC says it cannot recognize the PDP National Working Committee led by Kabiru Turaki due to conflicting court judgments over the party's leadership crisis. The faction backed by Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed held a national convention in Ibadan in November where new party officers were elected. Rasak Olokooba is a member of the ruling APC. He joins me alongside political analyst Jake Epelle for this conversation. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here. We're focusing on the media charts today. I will start with you, Jake, please. Your assessment as to why this media chart held in the first place, and perhaps the purpose and the revelation, in quote, of Wike's intentions.
A Wike of Makinde. Anyway, look, this is a complete charade. it's like a masquerade that is dancing in the village square, and someone somewhere is beating the drums for the masquerade that we're seeing. I don't believe anything and everything that Makinde says. I don't believe that he is openly criticizing his bosom friends. There are two bedfellows that everybody knows. For Makinde to have the temerity to start criticizing his friend, his very close friend, shows you that something somewhere is going on that any political pundit can easily analyze and inform
so
the general public.
That's actually the reason we're asking. Like, is this about 2027? Or this is somebody who genuinely wants to ensure we don't move to a one-party state?
He's not honest about his expression. Listen, I think this is what I think. I think Makinde wants to run as a presidential candidate of PDP, knowing fully well he is a very weak candidate. For heaven's sake, who knows Makinde, apart from the fact that he's Oyo State governor? He's very much relatively unknown in political circle. You know, this is a businessman turned oil magnate with all that he did with NNPC, and then jumped into politics with all the money that he accumulated. Other than that, he's a greenhorn in political circle. However, does he have the ability and the popularity to contest for a presidential candidate of a party like PDP? I'm not a politician, but I'll tell you, absolutely no.
All right.
You know, so I feel that he wants to run, and he will run as a very weak candidate, which gives APC the chance to outrightly win him in a landslide. This is they just cooking up a script that will soon play out.
All right, Jake, let's bring in Rasak and just take your general impression as well of this presser looking at Wike working in the APC, but is a member of the PDP. And then you have this accusation, weighty, some would say. What is the conversation going on in the APC after this media chat?
Thank you very much. I'm just a sympathizer of APC. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I always support APC because of our collaboration with them as activists, with the promise of restructuring. With that as it may, APC has brought Wike on board to work with it as a part in government. That's not the first time. If you remember Uncle Bola again, who was a member of AD and worked very well with Obasanjo, all the factors that would compel us to draw a conclusion that the government of the day is pursuing a one-party state is absent. One of it is that opposing views will not be tolerated, and there will be persecution of opposition. The method employed by APC at the moment is the same method employed by PDP in the past. So, to draw conclusion that APC is dragging Nigeria into a one-party state cannot hold water. What we should be frank enough to admit is that PDP has failed. All the mechanism for putting up a credible opposition is missing in them. So, any Nigerian that joins them to draw the conclusion that it is Tinubu that is responsible for that shift towards a one-party state. You should go back to their political textbooks. That's not how to run a one-party state. It's not. See, a country that does not run a party of ideology will always patronize any party in power, which is the case at the moment. The manifesto of PDP is not clear enough to be called a party of ideology. So they have nothing to look up to as an ideology to work on, as an opposition to engage the ruling party. And that is what is responsible for why they consistently gravitate towards party that is in power. So, and that's the summary. You see, just like what my colleague Jake has said.
If you can hear me, I need you to chip that in. You said our country, we don't have parties who have ideologies. We don't gravitate.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you saying both the PDP, the APC, and all other parties are just here as vehicles and not really ideologically grounded per se? If that is the case, why do we have this flock of people moving to the ruling APC?
That's what I'm saying. Any party, anywhere in the world where there's a party of ideology, you will stick to your party and wait until you come back to power. PDP has lost 2027. What they should be looking at now is to go back to the drawing board so that they won't lose 2031. I have little respect for all the people that are leaving PDP now for APC, because if the table should turn around in the future, they will do exactly that. They are creating confusion in the mind of Nigerians. And it's not going to help our nation. I like APC, and it's not likely for me to like PDP. But as much as I like APC, I want a strong opposition. Opposition helps your democracy. If you don't have a strong opposition, your democracy is weak. So the fact that opposition is disappearing today in Nigeria, I don't like that idea. We should not be shifting blame.
All right, then. I mean, we do have a situation on our hands, and what happens in the coming days will reveal where we're headed as a nation. Jake, I just want to ask you this, maybe both of you quickly, in 30 seconds each. Wike used to have a media chat. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is Seyi Makinde's first national media chat. Some people are saying, is this copycat, do me, I do you? Quickly, in 30 seconds. And what would that mean?
It's not this. There's nothing new under the sun. It's not.
Sorry, please, when Jake lands, Rasak, you take up, please.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a copycat per se. There's nothing new under the sun. Makinde is strategically trying to launch himself by borrowing a leaf from his friend. Forget about this coming to criticize Wike. They're still friends. That's what politicians do. But just to say to Rasak, what PDP, in his word, has failed, but APC is also responsible for PDP's failure by what they have been doing in infiltrating PDP and trying to create confusion. Okay,
I did say 30 seconds. We're really out of time.
However, we cannot blame APC rightly. It is PDP who decided to destroy ourselves.
All right, Rasak, in 30 seconds, please.
That PDP is a weak party. No party will not want to infiltrate the other party. It's enough strategy all over the world that infiltrate and decimate them. If you allow that to happen to your party, it means your party is weak. You can't blame your opposition for that. So if you want to help our democracy in Nigeria, we must be willing to say the truth. Let's run a party of ideology.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.